So we are here at San Diego Comic-Con, and you have a panel coming up, and Daniela is going to be on the panel.
Yes, so excited to have
Very
her.
excited.
Daniela Medeiros is an amazing art director, production designer, as well as set designer, which she's done for some amazing movies that we're very excited to tell you about, and we're going to show you some great stuff at the panel. So, yeah.
Yeah, you should come. It would be really fun.
Yeah. I think people would be really interested to know in, your life in Brazil, how you got involved in architecture and eventually made your way in.
Right. My background is architecture and industrial design with focus on furniture. And by the time that I was graduating from college, I started getting involved with people that worked in movies in my town. And it's just a city in the south of Brazil called Curitiba. And I started working in some projects. I was production designing a few things, and I noticed that that's what I wanted to do, and realized that if I wanted to work in the type of projects that I wanted to work on and tell the stories and be able to create and invent worlds, I needed to move here. So I moved to the US and I've been here for about 10 years, and I've been working on a lot of really cool stuff, and yeah, it's been really great.
Mm-hmm. Does it inform you at all where you come from in some way? Do you think that how does your immigrant identity, if at all, affect what you do?
I think it always does, because it's your background is your origins, let's say. So I think I bring in the point of view of being taught back in Brazil, and I studied in different places too, and in different countries. So I think all of that combined, and I think whenever you combine cultures and combine different points of view of art, you get something new and something unique. So I think that's how I think I bring something my own to everything I do.
Yeah. I think it comes a lot in your independent work. But I also want to know what's your take on what it's like to take on this iconic, like Jack Kirby designs and those worlds that Marvel creates.
Yeah, those are great opportunities to be creative, because then you have the platform, you have the budgets to do really amazing stuff, and it's really a privilege to be able to be part of that and create. And each project seems that there's something bigger and bigger that comes along, and it's really fun. The Jack Kirby one was in Thor Ragnarok. That was a really amazing opportunity, and such a great artist. So that was really fun. Really fun to try to interpret his illustrations into physical environments.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you're also going to show us in the panel some of that great work that you did, laying out the spaces in such a creative way.
Yeah, and you can see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a question for you, because I know that the panel that we're doing with Andres is going to be about diversity, and you are a set designer. So do you ever bring in some stuff from your background, diversity, culture? Do you put it in the sets like as Easter eggs or anything like that it's there, but it might not be so obvious to everybody else?
Now that you said it, I wish I had. No, we end up just following the story, and we create the sets and everything to just tell the story. Some stories will be easier to do that, and especially if the stories that are about diversity and about things like that. But I think the way I bring it in is just by my design and my way to see the world. But I should do that. I should actually start putting some Easter eggs there.
there is something that we talked about in the past about the state, just the importance of diversity and inclusion in the media and what's been done. How in some places of work where we've worked, they might be making great strides, but there's more to be done. What's your take on this?
Right, I do agree with that. I think we are. It's always like this. I think with all of these things, you do one step forward, two back, one step forward, two back. So unfortunately, we have to be patient in some way. What should we? Probably not. We shouldn't be patient about it. But it is frustrating sometimes when you think that things are progressing a bit, and then you hit a wall, and you're like, oh, here we are again. And in my case, I think that the main one would be sexism.
Yeah.
And I think we'll unfortunately still have that everywhere, and we deal with that and try to go around it and work with people that that want to empower other women, and I do that, and I've worked with amazing people that also have this focus, and that's their their priority is to keep bringing people up with them, and that's really important.
Yeah, I agree. We were talking with another one of my friends from Marvel, not here, though we also spoke here, about how important it was to have seen women empowering other women within Marvel, for example, but in the industry at large. And for us, people of color, I believe it's like a responsibility for us to say, whenever we can, when we get the privileged position of saying, is this a room that is equally representative, of the culture, of the world we live in, to do so. I feel like it's a responsibility that we can, and now you're getting to a position where you can do that as well, and hopefully we'll be inspiring folks who come to the panel to do so as well, to use their voice for that.
Absolutely. I always try whenever I can to make sure that I'm getting people and helping people to move up, to come with me. And I always try to talk to students as well, and try to, because sometimes you can't necessarily give a job to someone, but you can give them information. You can help them in different ways. You can, just open a little bit of the door, or a little bit of, at least show the path a little bit.
Exactly.
And that's already a big help. And sometimes those things are even harder to get, So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, because that sounds amazing, and I hope that everybody that listens to this beforehand comes to the panel so they can find out more about what you have done, about your career, and I just think that's amazing that you put all this together, Andres.
Oh, thank you. It's amazing to have such great talents on board, and it's a pleasure.
Well, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the convention.
Thank you. Thank you too.